So I saw this LJN right here. Showing it right now. It's just a slick figure, great figure. I'm guessing. Is very high on price. Well, decently priced for an LJN being loose. With no accessories, nothing. But this guy right here, I'm showing on the screen right now. He hit me up. Wanting it. Very excited for the figure. Actually, was willing to pay what I had it listed for. I had it listed for 60 on Marketplace, and he was willing to pay that for it, plus shipping. But I checked where he was located at. He wasn't too far from me, almost like 40 minutes. So I agreed to go and take it to him. He told me he was an older guy. To me it sounded a little suspicious at first because it's Marketplace. But I mean, I still, he kept texting me. He kept sounding legit. He didn't sound like a bot. I checked his profile, and I mean, it's a legit guy. So I mean, he sounded legit. We agreed on meeting the day after. The day after he texted me, like, cause he had texted me in the morning, so we agreed to meet the morning after. So basically, yeah, we agreed on our plans. I said, I'll hit you up in the morning, it's just not, didn't think nothing of it. But then he hit me with this text. He said, "Thank you. I wanted to tell you I have a history with Slick. He's a preacher in Fort Worth who I hired, and when he retired from the WWF in '93, I had to fire him after only a week. Funny story." Which, I mean, sounds legit. I mean, how can somebody just make that up on the fly? I mean, probably me. I can't. I'd be capping hard. But I mean, when we said that, I mean, obviously it sparked curiosity out of me, and I had to ask. I said, "That's hilarious and so crazy." I wasn't laughing, but I mean, that's just how it takes. I don't want to be awkward. What was the reason for firing him, if you don't mind me asking? And he said this. He said, and I quote, "I was the general manager of a novelty candy company. I only hired him as a favor to do one to one of the ladies who worked for me. He was also her pastor at her church. I hired him for a night shift, and every night I would get a call from the night supervisor telling me that he was threatening to hurt somebody. After a week of it, I let him go. Then he began threatening me every time he saw me. LOL. Laughing out motherfucking loud." Again, we agreed, $70 for the figure. I was driving out like 45 minutes, so we agreed on 70 for the fucking figure, which is great. I expected to get like $40 for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. As soon as I arrived, I mean, obviously I couldn't record. I don't have my Ray-Ban glasses anymore. If not, this would have been perfect to record. The Ray-Bans Bandit took them for me. In summary, I wrote fucking notes about it. But in summary, so basically what he told me is that Slick needed a job. Slick got that job to flee from the IRS. He was telling me how he hired him to do his friend a favor. I guess this woman was like his really good friend. He wanted to do her a favor, and he was her friend. I mean, he was her friend or pastor, something like that. I think it was pastor. But he was her pastor, and he needed like a favor. He said he needed to escape IRS issues and this and that. This man put him in night shift. Like how I was saying, he was a general manager, put him in night shift so he won't draw attention. He told me he was a very tall guy, very very skinny. Obviously, you can tell that he's not a regular dude, or wasn't a regular dude. And I guess around this time, people knew him. So, putting him in night shift, I guess, makes sense. So he said he kept getting complaints, like how I said, how he told me in that paragraph beforehand. But he said that one day he just showed up unexpectedly and caught him. This is not me saying it. Like this is what he told me, and I put that on y'all's life. I put that on my life. He said that when he walked into the building, he had 2 Mexicans on a chokehold. I didn't put Mexicans in there. He said Mexicans in there. He said he had 2 Mexicans on a chokehold. He was very mean to the woman there. Then he proceeded to call him up to the office to speak to him. He told me he didn't have an intention of firing him. He just wanted to like talk to him to get him in check. But Slick proceeded to start threatening him, and then he ended up obviously getting himself fired for that. He told me that he refused to leave and he wanted to pick a fight with him. And think about it, Slick is like fucking huge. Like now that I know him, like obviously I don't fucking know the guy, but like I looked him up. And obviously he's huge, and even his fucking figure was fucking tall and lanky. Yeah, anyways, the guy was threatening to fight him, and he was this man was telling me that he was down a fucking scratch too. That he wasn't like backing down for this shit. It's just very funny when he was telling it to me, because honestly, you can tell this guy was a YN back in the day. You know what I'm talking about? So he said after all that happened, the coworkers, people who worked under him basically helped escort him out. He escorted him out. So a couple weeks passed. He told me that somebody in their mutual circle passed away, so they were like in a reunion. Well, not a reunion, but like they had a little function for like the deceased person. I think they had like a food, like eating or something. He said they were all in the same function together, and that Slick still at this function hated this guy. He came up to him and I started threatening him. He said that Slick was Slick was a pastor at this point, wanting to fucking kill this guy. And the worst thing about this all at the function was his church group. So when this all started unfolding, he started threatening this man again. I guess this man called him out on it, and he said he called the church group over. He's like, "Man, is this your fucking pastor?" is this guy's fucking pastor? Look at this guy. He's trying to fuck me up right now. And then I guess it started a whole thing and they had to separate them. But and I think that's about it. That's about all he told me. After he bought this slick figure, I told him about my other LJNs. He ended up buying all of them the next weekend, and he told me more details about it. He started telling me how Ric Flair and him were in the same foster home, something like that. But this man just has all these wrestling ties for no fucking reason. But what I love more about the store, I got all these details, all this everything from this story because this man told me that he was on his. All right, no funny stuff no more, guys. Let's get serious. So this guy told me that he was on his deathbed, and then he got really depressed after that. He was just thinking about dying every day. This is his words, not mine. I'm not promising. I'm not even trying to be funny right now. But he said that he was on his deathbed and he was dying already, and that the doctor told him to get a hobby. So he started like learning about LJNs, and well, I mean, I sold him the most LJNs he's had his whole life, I'm guessing. And he was very happy to receive these LJNs. He's been still texting me to this day, and we're just been in contact. Obviously, he's spreading out to more figures. I see that he's buying more figures, which is great. But yeah, stories like these is why Marketplace will truly be undefeated. But obviously, Marketplace still has its downsides, but the upsides are truly amazing.